Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to SimTraX Broadcasting. We are here with the National Oval Racing Association here on Monday night. Yep, your eyes do not deceive you. Gen 4 cars are what we're going to be running here tonight and all season. If you guys are looking to join up, now is the time. Join the NSR, the National Oval Racing Association, and the NSR League that we broadcast out there. Each one of them for the Gen 4 leagues that they run. Definitely are looking for drivers, and definitely you want to get in sooner than later, especially when we start pouring in to the points running here, so get in soon. Stella, we are joining here tonight with this league at Texas Motor Speedway, and oddly enough, as we take a look at this track, you may be thinking, boy, this track looks kind of old out there, and honestly, it is. This is more of the legacy track. This is before they started paving, and a lot of guys are still having trouble out there trying to get this track narrowed down. Kind of talk to me about what changed about this track compared to what the new stuff we normally see today.
Well, we normally see a track that's got 24 degrees of banking and is nice and wide, 80 feet across. They can line up 3 wide with comfort, and not here, not before 2017 when it was reprofiled and repaved. Now you're looking at 20 degrees of banking, and that's going to be a big difference. They're not going to quite get the speed coming out of those corners, and you are looking at a minimum 58 feet wide, so they're going to be crunching up against the wall. I'm expecting either that or we're going to see some new lawnscaping services.
All right, speaking of lawnscaping services, it's almost shaped a little bit like Charlotte on that front stretch. A lot of guys are going to be taking a bite out of the grass, and it's going to be a pretty difficult, seeing that the grass will jam up in that front grill and change it up for these guys tonight. So let's go ahead and take a look at what they are lined up for at the RadioShack 300 here. Right now, 200 laps look to be on the books here for tonight as we knock each and every lap down. Drivers are going to be really scrambling for that fuel mileage. Right now, 60% is what we've got it set to, and 10 sets of tires down in the pit. I would say it's going to be about a 25-75 chance is fuel will go over that 20-lap mark, but the tires will start fading away and quick. It is extremely hard to stay stuck to this track. Drivers are going to be trying to see if they can follow each other or if they can't. Some of this track is required downforce for them to maintain some sort of traction out there, and following each other may or may not be the best thing to see tonight. So at least an 82-degree track temperature is at least a malleable number that we can use out there for these guys to maintain their speed. But will the longevity play out? We'll have to see. 70 degrees out there in the air, 9 miles an hour wind, and we are getting ready here to get this going here at Texas Motor Speedway. Let's go ahead and get to our starting lineup here for the night as these drivers are getting ready to rock and roll here. Brian Jones in the number 45. He'll be starting in the number 1 spot next to Vincent Arthur. Great job by our front 2 guys out here, knocking down some solid times and staying out front, especially in that front row. That's exactly where you want to be. I would say Brian Jones has been a thorn in the side here for the National Oval Racing Association. Definitely coming alive out there and being able to do a little bit of something out there for Evernham Motorsports. Moving on to Brady Modes, who sits 3rd, and Dalton Tucker 4th. Expect Tucker to be moving up and staying up front. A little bit of strategy out there could play in for him as the 42 Haviland machine will have his hands full. Moving on to Cody Reeder, starting on the inside of row number 3. Dylan Picklesheimer will be starting in 6th. Jacob Gladelick will be 7th. We'll see if Gladelick can hold up front. Normally we do see Jacob Gladelick actually rotating toward the back of the field early on, so let's see if he can stick it out, but he'll be to the inside of Kevin Balmer, who sits 8th. Matthew George in the 9th position, with Dustin Cleaver rounding out our top 10. Jake Christenberry, a lot of even people out there rooting him on. He'll be starting in 11th. We'll check out for you guys in the chat to be rooting on Jake Christenberry, and Cody Height, who sits in 12th. Moving on back to the remainder here of our field, where Josh Conover sits 13th. Sam Taylor is 14th. Stella, I do not see Jacob Lee out here, so I do not believe the number 10 Valvoline will be showing his face here tonight. Christopher Heights will be 15th. Nicholas Pressey, 16th. Showing here for Nick Pressey, kind of a slow qualifying time for him. I don't believe he came out onto the track. I don't think he was real happy with the last race, and he's not going to be happy with this race. Kyle Rochelle starting in 17th next to Nick Geilis. Mike Moultrie 19th, and Blake Hopping rounding out our top 20. And that is way back in the field here, as they're going to be having a hard charge up to the front, where the number 77 sitting in 21st is Al Likens. James Hudson is 22nd, Cody Smith 23rd, and Tay McDonald taking the dead rear here of the field. Now, a lot of drivers out here are complaining of some internet issues as well for this track, not only for trading paints, but we are hoping Tay McDonald has got that blinking under control. Past couple of weeks, that 06 has had nothing but trouble out of his server out there, trying to stay connected to the track. And really, Stella, when you were talking about this track not being as wide, connection is a must. He's got to be out there. We've got to be able to see this guy. And if he ends up causing a wreck because you can't see him, I guarantee you that 06 may be starting in the back of the field, if not on the field at all.
Yeah, that would definitely be bad. I'm kind of curious what is happening here. Can I say we're looking?
I figured I'd jump up here, run up real quick.
Thank you, Nick.
So the session was created accidentally with unlimited fast repairs. So it's going to take us about 2 seconds, and we're going to throw up a new one. Also, trading paints is down. Can confirm that one.
Okay. So nobody has been able to recover from trading paints.
Correct. It looks to be down for everybody, and we're going to have a new session coming up in just a second to fix the unlimited fast repairs issue that we would not have been able to police.
Bro. Well, yeah, I guess so. I guess y'all were using them up here right at the beginning, so that's going to be
case of the Mondays.
Oh boy. All righty. Well, we will cut to commercial then. Get everybody ready and get ready to transfer over. Thanks, Nick.
Yep.
All right, Stella. So you heard it from the man out there. Little stumble up here. Remember, I think it's ironic that we were talking about a little bit of internet connection issues, and we're right in the middle of one. So you see out there, Barney, I guess, laughing it off here as Cody Reeder's going ahead and trying to see if he can get himself a one race here as he is out front, and not for long. So we are going to go ahead and get ready for this next session. They'll be able to get these guys gridded back up and ready to go. I saw Josh Conover, one of the first drivers that was down and stopped. I think they knew something was wrong, and I think they are in the process of fixing it. So we'll be able to get this ready. I would say kind of keeping an eye here on Cody Reeder, though, for just a moment. You were getting a decent look at what this track is going to consist of speed-wise and what it's going to take to get rolling through that turn. You see through the middle of turn number 1 and 2, the 19 actually starts stepping sideways here just a little bit. As we came right in on the end of practice, it almost looks like the front end of the car starts digging in a little bit harder before the rear end kicks out, so that is going to be a lot of trouble here tonight. So, Stella, what do you say we go ahead and get everybody ready here, and let's go try to chase down this new room.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
All righty, everybody. Appreciate you for hanging on for our technical difficulty. We'll be right back. Broadcasting. Technical difficulty out there with the league going ahead and trying to make a quick change, which resulted in us in a server change. We are going ahead and getting 10 minutes of practice down here as they are nearing the last minute and a half. Oddly enough, not only that, but trading paints has also failed as well. So most of your drivers out there in the usual paint schemes that you have seen will not be running the same color that you would think. You know, you normally see the number 20 there in the Home Depot car, and a lot of things would change as you see everybody not happy with the car they've been given here in the server. They'll all be heading to the backups, as this is going to be pretty rough. Here's Mike Moultrie. Normally you see him in the Silver Bullet. Out there is currently in a white and orange car. So hopefully we'll see the number 40 out there. So Stella, we're going to get back underway here. I've been actually debating this entire time whether we should go back through the grid again and see see if anybody changed. No, I'm just kidding. We'll definitely.
This particular league chooses to do their qualifying the race before, and it allows them to inflict penalties. It allows people to qualify into their positions prior to the day of, which is kind of nice for planning purposes.
All right. Go ahead and get back underway here at Texas Motor Speedway. As drivers are lining up here, getting out there onto the track. I believe everybody has gotten into the seat here, so we should be ready to get going here. There we go. Pace car working its way on off. And, yep. What do you say, Stella? We run through the grid?
Sure.
All right, let's go ahead and do it again. I think I did a heck of a job last time. Let's go ahead and let you let her rip here for the first 12.
Okay, we are looking at Brian Jones in the 45, followed by Vincent Arthur in his 24 car, which tonight is definitely not looking like Jeff Gordon. Brady Moats in third place. On the outside of him is Dalton Tucker. Cody Reeder in fifth. And Dylan Picklesheimer is in row 3. Row 4 is Jacob Gladelick and Kevin Ballmer, followed by Matthew George and Dustin Kleba in row 5. Jake Christenberry, now you got me doing it, in the number 48 car, and Cody Height on his outside in his 15.
Yep, moving on to Josh Conover, starting on the inside of row number 7 with Sam Taylor to the outside. Christopher Heights is 15th, with Nick Cressy in the 000 sitting in 16th. Moving on to Kyle Rochelle, Nick Geilis, Mike Moultrie, and Blake Hoppy. Al Likens will be starting outside the 20th position in 21st. James Hudson is 22nd. Cody Smith starts 23rd, and Tay McDonald bringing up the rear of the field. Green flag is out. Here we go. Tangle up back here with Jake Christenberry. Al Likens getting tangled up as well. I think he might have been able to shoot through. Kyle Rochelle getting the worst of it. Rochelle moves all the way down to 23rd. Sam Taylor sitting 24th as he is suffering some damage out there. Cody Height looks like he has fallen down 7. Jake Christenberry fell down 9. Like we did have some tumble-ups out there, especially coming across that front stretch. Somebody skid across the side of the wall there, and that ended up causing a problem, causing everybody to scramble.
I'm just a little flabbergasted that there was no caution.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I don't know quite 100% what started slinging and happening around out here. Let's take another look.
start with the tagging of the wall of the number 40 back here. That was pretty harsh to start with.
Kind of starting to separate back here. There's the number 40 here, Mike Moultrie. Kind of smushed up. I think everything happened up front. There's into the wall.
Oh! Ah, wrong orange and white car. Goodness.
A little smack into the wall does cause some problems out there. It worked out for some, well, worse for others. Drivers who did seem to get the best of it was Nick Geilis, who slides up into the 11th position in the 97 machine out here. And you notice also another driver of Cody Smith. Remember, I said he was dead last. He's now 16th.
Yeah, that gave him 7 positions, being able to avoid that mess.
Yep, and a mess it was. Brian Jones and Vincent Arthur still leading this one. Right now, Jones has been able to get about a half a second separation from our drivers out there. And we'll take a look back. That has got to feel really good here at Texas. Now, we talked earlier before about a 60% fuel limit, so I would say, where are we looking? About 20 to 25 laps out there?
I do believe so.
All right, so a couple things are going to be messing around with these drivers out there as they start single filing out pretty well here. Moving back to Geilis, who's looking to see if he can come up with another position here. Outside line for him as he has overcome Matthew George, but not all the way. Still trying to make a full clear here as he shoots past the start-finish line. Out in front, he's got him. A great job there by Nick Geilis. He's going to continue around on the high side. And I guarantee you he's going to find a lot of success up there, but some drivers, and talking to the crew chiefs out there, that the right rear tire is the main concern we're seeing here tonight. As a lot of guys are worried about slipping out of these turns and smacking into the wall, which we've seen already once here so far. Nobody has come down in the pit, though, for any sort of repair, so we'll keep an eye on that. Moving out to Dustin Kleba as he goes ahead and works around Kevin Balmer. Balmer started originally in 8th, only gained 1 here on the night. He had 2 until the Evernham Motorsports driver went ahead and made it around him.
Yeah, Brian Jones is still working out in the front there pretty well, and he has somebody out here that might be a good luck charm for him, L.J. Hernandez, new to the chat, that is rooting him on.
All right, Brian Jones definitely getting good following here, seeing that his finishing places are looking better and better each and every week. So far, right now, we are riding on here with Matthew George looking back at Jacob Gladelick and Mike Moultrie.
Yeah, now Brian Jones started out last week pretty well. I mean, he led 53 laps at Bristol, and but ended up coming in not as well as he wishes he had. He, I believe, finished 10th.
Yes, he did have a pit penalty, which did cost him a lot of time. Unfortunately, ruined his race after an ill-timed caution, actually put him another lap down. And he was just absolutely unable to recover. So staying only about a quarter of a second back, Vincent Arthur is off the rear bumper there of Brian Jones. Dalton Tucker trying to follow as close as possible to not let these guys get away. Now talking to Dalton Tucker's team out there, they're a little concerned with fuel mileage. They're wondering if they're going to be a little short on fuel here tonight, whether or not they're going to be able to get up to the front. So Dalton Tucker's Dodge out there in that 42 machine, they're going to be definitely keeping an eye on that fuel gauge, and I guarantee you'll see the gas man going ahead and following him out of the pit box, trying to get every last drop they can in, as they get him back out onto the track. Dalton Tucker would love to come away. What they were saying, a top 5 out there from Dalton Tucker. But that is going to be a kind of a hard bite to chew there. I would say it's going to be pretty tough, seeing who he is currently doing battle with right now. Is Vincent Arthur taking a look at that 24 car there to the outside.
Yeah, Vincent Arthur's been having a little bit of a rough time, but he's maintaining a good place in the standings, second. But right now, just basically hanging out. No real changes, moving up or whatnot. Now, last week, he did not actually have a lap lead. Never quite made it up past the other guys. Dalton Tucker, on the other hand, led 135 laps at that short track. Ouch, somebody just took a little piece of wall there.
Yep, Dylan Picklesheimer with the fastest time on the night during practice has taken the right front wheel out. Cuts through the grass. I don't know if this is going to continue to be a problem here.
Definitely has some damage there on that front quarter panel.
Yep. I got a feeling we'll see Dylan Picklesheimer coming down into the pits, as he is currently 2 seconds out in front of Al Likens. Likens actually leading this backfield here, who got in that tangle up earlier here in the race. Yep. As we take a look at that, Dalton Tucker was able to overcome Vincent Arthur. And Vincent Arthur now drops down to third, 18 laps in. Stella, some of these guys, like we keep kind of, I think my biggest thing here tonight is what we're looking at is leaning back and forth who does and who doesn't have any sort of strategy here. Because pit road is going to be oddly critical here tonight. Some of the, some ideas of, maybe no tires or only right side tires has been taken into consideration. But we'll see if anybody decides to execute that.
That will be an interesting presentation then.
Yeah, many of these guys pretty excited to see their night actually work out for them for the better. Al Likens goes ahead and gets around Dylan Picklesheimer. So that damage is still continuing to tax Dylan Picklesheimer here, and he is continuing to roll backward. 16th position now, and I hate to see this for him. Maybe just a little too fast during practice. I don't know if something let go, but he is currently fighting that car.
Now it looks like he will be joining Cody Height, who is already down in the pits for currently 15 plus seconds.
Yeah, Cody
Oh,
Height.
dear. He
Go ahead.
must be getting a lot of damage taken care of. He's over 25 now. I'll let you know when he heads out.
All right, well, we'll keep an eye here on Cody Height, as he is currently sitting in 24th now. And Dylan Picklesheimer is now in the pits, looking to finish some of his damage repair. Stella, as I say that, Dylan Picklesheimer is actually re-emerging from pits.
In time that would be 4 tires and fuel. I mean, but here's Nick Geilis. He's headed down.
Notice our leaders continue to stay out there onto the track. So this is going to continue to be, I'm saying so far, a pretty good race here. Right now, the separation between Brian Jones, there he is here in our view. Sitting in that number 1 spot, there's Dalton Tucker, Vincent Arthur, and Dustin Kaleva. Cody Rear goes ahead and sits back a bit farther than that, as there he is. There's Cody Reeder, Kevin Ballmer sitting behind him, Brady Moats as well. These are your 6 and 7 guys. Mike Moultrie and Matthew George, they are out only about half a light year back, where they are sitting now 8th and 9th, and Jacob Gladelick rounding out our top 10.
Looking
Times
good.
are
Well,
falling off pretty intense here. Stella, right now, Brian Jones, even though out front, 28.98 is his fastest time, as he's the only driver to break into the 28th for a single lap. is currently running a 30.7.
But we are looking at lap 24, so I'm anticipating seeing some fellas come down for fuel, if not for tires. Blake Hoppy being one of our first takers here also. Nick Geilis came down in on your predicted lap 20, but has now come back in again.
Yikes. Not
I think
good.
he might have forgotten something.
Yep, Moultrie coming on down. These guys are definitely tumbling it up out here, whether or not somebody's going to be able to hang in there. And that's what I was saying, oddly enough, this is going to be a pit strategy race. Not just kind of following each other out there. So I'm interested more right now when our leaders come down, and I might have that answered. It looks like Vincent Arthur and Dalton Tucker are coming on down. Ooh, Tucker almost nudges him there.
Eek.
Yep, 19 machine. Cody Reeder sitting right behind him.
Now, Josh Conover, not coming in, has moved up 7 places so far. He is one to watch when it comes to strategies and down pit road.
Now, also remember Conover's one of the guys who ended up in the earlier incident and had fallen off by almost 8 seconds off pace. So he's looking to kind of get back to the front. Here comes Conover. Only driver not to pit, Jacob Gladelick.
All right.
I have to say, Stella, right now I'm wondering if Jacob Gladelick has run out of fuel here.
No.
Yes.
Oh, RPM's at 0.
Oh, he's shutting the engine off. I mean, that's how close.
That is too close for comfort for me.
Yep, you see it at 0, but he was able to fire it back up.
And
Holy
he
cow.
makes it.
Well, he does get a lead lap, though, but this is Vincent Arthur going to go ahead and obtain the lead from him. Wow. All right, so number 24 out in front. I would wonder what the heck happened to Brian Jones. 15.13 there in the box on lap number 26, 1 lap later than Vincent Arthur, Dalton Tucker, and Cody Reeder. And they are currently sitting 1, 2, and 3. Jones will have an extra lap of fuel here. If this does go green all the way to the end, which may or may not be, pretty unlikely. Right now, Brian Jones is trying to think longevity here of this race.
Yeah, I was looking to see what Vincent Arthur might have done in the pits, but my screen does not show any time for him in the box, so I can't tell whether he did 4 tires and fuel. But if he goes by what everybody else did coming down, that would be his tactic.
Yep, pit lane time, though, with a 38.13 for him, and that matches just about everybody else who ended up taking 4 tires and fuel. So great pit stops by all our guys out there. They get on and off pit road in a timely manner and continuing to turn back to the front. But right now, want to keep an eye here on Brian Jones as he is starting to actually pick up the pace here now that the tires are settling in. 5 laps in, Brian Jones knocked down his fastest time of the night through turn 3 and 4 out there, as he is definitely smoking the tires. And he is working his way up to the front, gets Mike Moultrie and puts him in the rearview mirror. Next on his list is going to be Cody Reeder, as you see him starting to enter the screen. So the 45 machine definitely on a mission here to get back to the front, as he hates how his pit stop went here. But I wonder if that would be a better idea to stretch it 1 more lap rather than hitting this every 25 laps, if he'll be able to kind of scrub it out and come in later on. I mean, I'm just hypothetical situations here, Stella. If this goes green all the way, He should have almost an 8-lap advantage on tires going into the last stint of this race.
Goodness. Okay, that's that would be an interesting angle. Like you say, the thought of it going that long, we don't really have that kind of a precedent here. So I would be interested. Now, somebody needs to let me know why Nick Guileless is down in pit like for 5 minutes now. Did he have an altercation?
I think some front damage.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That explains it.
He's not the only one out there who's been having trouble out there in these Gen 4 cars. Some of these guys are a lot stronger in the Xfinities or the next-gen cars, but once we start getting into these 900 horsepower monsters, right now everybody having just a little bit of difficulty out there. The engine is a lot stronger and the rear tires are not as forgiving and not willing to cooperate out there and kind of stick to it and make things happen. So we'll see as we take a look at Blake Hoppy. Hoppy will be shooting around the 17 of Christopher Heights that smacks into the wall. Right now, heavy damage to the right front. You can tell the 17 is struggling here. K-Doggy joins us here tonight. Appreciate you joining us here, buddy. A little bit of a technical difficulty there at the beginning, but everything is squared away. You might ask, yes, Trading Paints is down. So all of our guys in their custom paint jobs to go ahead and bring it to you the best throwback paints out there. We are stumbling, and that is not an option here tonight. So we are taking a look at Brian Jones, who's now gotten into third. We saw him shoot past Cody Reeder. Dalton Tucker is now sitting in that number 2 spot, about 1.2 seconds away.
Yeah, that's a nice little gap.
Well, that being actually led by Vincent Arthur, who's out in front by more than that. Well, out in front even farther, another 0.7 of a second. So if Brian Jones wishes to get back to the lead, he needs to come up with a 2-second gain here to get there. Yeah, K-Doggy out there. Yeah, buddy, it happens. It definitely happens. Definitely hope everybody is happy and joining us tonight here at SimTraX Broadcasting, bringing you the National Oval Racing Association, the Gen 4 Cup Series out there for the RadioShack 300 here at Texas Motor Speedway. A lot of things have been changing. A lot of guys have been doing a few things different out there. Unfortunately, modifying the cars is one of them. Smacking into the wall out there a few times has definitely caused a lot of consequences for our drivers out here, and they are struggling something fierce. Tay McDonald, starting from way back in the 24th position, has fought himself up to 13th, and nope, doesn't look like he's got his blinking issues fixed. There he is. Now Likens will be trailing, leading in front of him here. Blake Hoppy trailing and up 13 positions here tonight. There are two gentlemen right now. Cody Smith is up 13 as he started down in 23rd, and Mike Moultrie, who has gained 13 as he is snugged into the 6th position. K-Dog asking, new or old Texas? This is the old legacy.
Yep.
And these guys are having a heck of a time out here with how this race is handling out there. They hop on top of Mike Moultrie's car, looking forward at Dustin Kaliba. 0.3 of a second behind him here, but he's giving it all he's got. See if we can come up with any more speed out of this car. Driver Dylan Picklesheimer has been working his way out of pit road here. Here you see him re-entering as he finishes his second pit stop for tires and fuel. Still does not told his pit crew to go ahead and fix any of that damage that had occurred earlier here in the race. Sam Taylor down pits. A lot of different things changing here, Stella, and right now I would say driver like Matthew George, staying quiet, knocking down these laps. He still remains in 9th. I would say, this would be a good finish for him at this as far as he goes, but I would say right now that Matthew George, I think he's going to want to get up to the front, possibly around that 5th place area. But man, oh man, does he have Cody Smith coming here and barreling down on him.
Well, he got a taste of that top 10 last week, finishing 8th. So no reason why he can't move up here too.
Yep. Well, plenty of opportunities out here to come up with some speed. I would say right now, still profile of the car, and do not want to loosen the guy up in front of you by taking away any of his downforce. Where you are noticing that some of these guys are staying a bit spread apart from each other rather than circling this track around each other. So this will be something we'll keep an eye on out there, and we'll see if this does change.
Alanis King is out there rooting on Brian Jones. He's getting himself a nice little fan club.
Yep. Well, Brian Jones is currently sitting 3rd. We take a peek here at him. Dalton Tucker and Benson Arthur are the 2 vehicles sitting right in front of him. I would say, notice Brian Jones is starting to really knock down the times faster than our 2 guys here in the front. Lap traffic up ahead.
Yeah, this should give Brian Jones a nice chance to catch up if it causes any hindrance to these front 2 hitting that lap traffic.
Wonder if drivers like Josh Conover can maintain onto the lead lap. I don't think he's going to be able to hold him up. So it looks like a bunch of drivers shooting on around him here. Conover currently holding in 19th. 20th place on back. Is a lap down, though. Take a look. There's Conover, and there are our leaders. Getting ready to catch up here pretty quick. Nick Geila's still fighting a lot of damage down there. 12 minutes now in the box. Hey, Stella, you got a hello out there in the chat.
Hi. Cool. Little cowboy hat guy. I like it. Yeah, feel free to, I see you're subscribed or you wouldn't be chatting, but feel free to like the stream tonight if you want, and more will come up, and you'll see us on Wednesday and on Saturday. We have 2 other leagues we broadcast for, and another one of those being the Gen 4.
Yep, that being hosted on Saturday night. And the season finale for the Bandit Racing League will be on Wednesday in the Next Gen cars at Phoenix. That'll be wrapping that league up. Those guys will be ready to go. They'll take a little bit of about a month hiatus. And restarting season 14. We have rejoined with them for another season. We'd like to give a shout out there to the Bandit Racing League. Appreciate them signing on yet for another season. We definitely do try our best here. All right. Well, all Brian Jones fans are getting nervous at the 45, down and in and right back out. Great job, 1488.
Nice.
Yep, Moultrie. Be coming on down as well. Remember, I said Brian Jones actually able to squeak out a lap later. He had pit on lap 26. Pits this time on 48. I would say right now, a little concerning here for Brian Jones if his strategy before was to change something up out there. Now we obviously short pits it here. And that's going to maybe give the upper hand back to our leaders who are currently running down pit road.
Yeah, we've got quite a few down pit road. Al Likens, must have missed his pit box.
All right, first away is the 42, Dalton Tucker.
Vincent Arthur right behind him.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on our pit road exit speeds See some of the NASCAR officials looking down at the cameras to check and see if Dalton Tucker did speed out of pits.
Well, I hope not.
I think his entire team would hope not.
All right, Matthew George, Cody Smith coming out of pit road. And our leaders, our last three, Dustin Kleba, Kevin Baumler, and Nick Pressey. Josh Conover coming in now.
Yep. Now is the time. Can't wait much longer. Jacob Gladelick was stretching it out there. Here's kind of the number 20 out there currently. Right now in the lead. He's going to see a driver go around the outside of him here. And Jacob Gladelick staying out. If he is able to do it, he should be pitting this time around. Doesn't look like anything may be changing in hindsight. Right now, Blake Hoppy getting his lap back, getting around the number 20 out there. As currently we were the top 20 kind of teetering on the edge there. They were currently holding off. Being a lap down.
There you go. I was worried he was going to speed in. Yeah, he'd last come down on 27, and he's the one that gave us the 26-27 window. So he ran out of gas last time. He almost did again.
Stella, we see a lot of wild stuff as Jacob Gladelick is coming in. Brian Jones has figured out how to turn the page here, and he is currently sitting back in the number 1 position at almost 1.7 seconds.
Yeah, nicely done.
Little blinking out there from the number 40 of Mike Moultrie. Hopefully it does not affect him too bad here tonight. For Moultrie. He's up 15 on the night. Dustin Kleba now passing his own teammate there. Evernham Motorsports. Now would be a good time to talk about the podcast of these two guys. Dustin Kleba and Cody Reeder out there are publishing a podcast over on Spotify called In the Fence. They're talking about NASCAR issues out there, things going on here inside the league, and an overview and a recap of the race. So definitely go check them out. In the Fence is what you're looking for over there at Spotify. All right, Stella, lap 58 is underway here. Right now, I'm trying to find where a good clump of cars are going to be. Moultrie does not get knocked down to 5th now. His earlier charge is starting to fizzle out. We'll see if this continues on. But we are going to hang out for just a moment. I really want to kind of thank you guys for joining us here tonight. We are going to cut to a Crank It Up session, and we will be right back. Hang on, we'll probably see you around lap number 65. everybody. Crank it up session is over as we rejoin back with our drivers out here on the track. Brian Jones still continuing to lead this race, but not uncontested. Dalton Tucker has now caught him and had him under fire last time they hit the straightaway. Here he comes again. Dalton Tucker taking a look to the inside, wants the lead, might have it, but not at the line, looking for turn 1 and 2. Dalton Tucker will be diving that 42 machine down on the bottom here. Brian Jones hanging to the outside, squeezing down on him. Great job, Brian Jones defending here. He's doing everything he can with the amount of real estate that he has. Take a look at the 42 here on the inside, taking another dive at it here. And Brian Jones unable to pedal him down, so that's going to give it to Dalton Tucker as he picks up the lead here, and they continue to chase each other. And right now, don't knock Brian Jones out yet. Brian Jones looking to come away and get out in front of him yet again. But not only that, if he's not only worried about what's in front, look who's chasing. That is Vincent Arthur. Our two guys, 1, 2, and 3. Inside here with Brian Jones are currently running away from the field here by 2 1/4 seconds there and enjoying this race, definitely making the best of it. Look how close that machine is getting here of Vincent Arthur as he is out there in the number 24 Jeff Gordon Chevrolet, who should be in the nice Rainbow Warrior car, but no can do. Thank you, Trading Fans. Caution.
Oh, did we finally? Cody Smith?
James Hudson.
Yikes.
Yep.
Yeah, Cody Smith's off track,
yep,
too.
22 of Smith. Yep. Hopefully we don't see Smith tow it out of here. Saw something was wrong with that left rear tire. It looked like it broke a control arm. The wheel was cocked and sitting on the ground. First caution here of the night here on lap number 67. Take a look back at what causes our yellow flag here, as it seems a quick flick, snap of our fingers, and we are starting to get some of our paints back here in the number 22.
Wow.
Boom!
Wee.
Hard shot here to the 22.
Yeah. My goodness. Yeah, he, you may not want him to take it to the garage, but I think he's going to be sitting and spotting for his team for the rest of this night. Yeah, James Hudson did not come away unscathed from that one either. He's got some damage to that vehicle.
All right, nice round of applause for Trading Paints for coming alive. Here they are, coming down pit road. Everybody starting to repair. Notice how you see everybody. There's the silver bullet working their way back out. Here we go. Dalton Tucker in the Haviland machine. There he goes. Excellent. There's our Rainbow Warrior. There he goes. In the DuPont Chevrolet. Tay McDonald in the 06 Mobile 1. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Glad to see the Ditech machine back as well. Right now, Cody Smith's hanging out in the cool-down room. We'll talk to him here in just a second as Brady Moats in the number 1 Snap-on machine getting back out onto the track. So a lot of things are going to be changing up here as they catch back up to the pace car. And we'll have a chat here with Cody Smith and see what in the world happened out there. Cody Smith, dude, he went for a bit of a ride there.
Yeah, let me pause your guys' stream real quick, but yeah, quite a ride. Very frustrated.
So
yeah, we saw all the sides of your car, including the bottom.
Oh yeah, no, it would. I wouldn't be leaving on my own power if it was real life, but thankfully it's iRacing, so those hits don't hurt. But it's so disappointing to get right rear down the straightaway by a lap car. I guess he lost his momentum off 4 there, so I got under him. I know we were cutting it close, but I figured he'd be smart enough to hold his line, and apparently he wasn't.
Yeah, something would definitely change there when we got across the line, and we saw your 22 machine definitely trying to take a odd angle here, though. It looked like you were riding up the track, and out of a bunch of movement, though, we weren't sure if you were actually getting loose coming out of 4, heading up the track there. So kind of walk me through it here.
expected tonight to be a lot looser than it really is, so it pushes tight actually. So I was pushing up just a little bit, but I still felt like I left him enough room. And yeah, watching your guys' stream, it just feels like he came off the wall a little bit. It's not as egregious as I thought it was, but I still feel like it could be avoided, especially with him being a lap down car.
Yeah.
He just lost a lot of momentum out of nowhere though, so I came up on him pretty quick, and my night's done though.
Dang. How much of required repairs is that saying?
I think I done left the lobby so I could hear you guys, but it was north of 30 minutes, so yeah, there was no point trying to fix it.
Ouch. Ouch. All right, Cody Smith. Well, hate to see you have to go so early, man. I would say keep your head up. Things are bound to happen, but man, oh man, it should be definitely, hopefully, something different as we leave Texas and we move to Martinsville next week. I mean, I don't know, man. Some guys, it's a love-hate relationship with the paperclip.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out. Hopefully get a good finish out of there. Change it up from a 1.5 miles to a short track. So looking forward to it. Definitely finish better next week than this week. So just a frustrating end to the night. But now I can sit back, have a cool beverage, and watch this badass, excuse my language, broadcast. So.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, buddy. And Trading Paints has just fixed itself, so we are good to go. We'll have everybody back in the machine. Unfortunately, that was right when the 22 machine came back, the Caterpillar, and it kind of blew to pieces. So, Cody Smith, well, good luck to you, man, and enjoy the rest of the broadcast, everybody.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Cody Smith seems to have his not be too wound up about it, but you can tell he's pretty hurt. He would rather be out there racing. So we are back under green lap 74 underway here. We get all our drivers through. And Stella, I can't tell you, even from a broadcaster standpoint, it may sound kind of silly, but what a relief to see the paints come back.
Well, I depend a lot on the numbers. You know these paints so much better than I do. But they do look so much complete.
Yes.
You know, rather than, I had 2 white and oranges out there and totally missed who it was. So, yes, I am very pleased too.
Yep. I definitely expect to see it continue and stay like this. As we move back to the Robbie Gordon machine here of Blake Hoppy, up 11 tonight. He breaks into the top 10, currently sitting 9th. There wasn't a soul that didn't come down on lap number 69 for fuel and tires, though. So level the playing field and get him going yet again. Here comes Dustin Kleba down on the bottom, passing his teammate Cody Reeder. Evernham Motorsports pretty happy with what they are able to do here tonight. Currently, right now, these guys are definitely kicking butt and taking names, though. Right now, their teammate is leading, and they are currently sitting 5th and 6th. 14 points tonight. Right now, they are going to be the ones capitalizing.
Yeah, Evernham Motorsports moved up 3 places last week in the owner standings, which was very nice for them.
I would say probably driver captain rating here. Hendrick Motorsports has got their hands full. They may have the most drivers, with 6 people on that team. But right now, Evernham Motorsports is definitely consistently up here into the top 10, if not top 5. So this is huge here for that team to continue churning their way up to the front. Right now, Brian Jones getting out to that lead in the home field car. Dalton Tucker sitting in the Haviline machine, sitting 2nd. And Vincent Arthur out there in the DuPont Chevrolet, the number 24, rounding out our top 3. Don't count out the Silver Bullet, who's chasing there in the number 40, up 15 places on the night. And back to Dustin Kleba, who goes ahead and snugs into 5th. Cody Reeder out there, I believe, in number 19. Jeremy Mayfield Dodd. Terry McDonald sitting in 17 positions, up in 7th. Al Likens in the 77 machine out there for Brandon Gauklin, who is currently, right now 13 positions up, 8th. And Robbie Gordon's Blake Hoppy, number 9, and Kevin Ballmer. One of the 3 drivers in the top 10 who have lost some positions out there. Right now, Jeff Burton's car not treating him too well here tonight in that AOL. Trying to see if he can shoot his way back. Man, oh man, right now, Stella, everybody out here on the track, this is some wild stuff.
Yeah, it's nice to see them all bunched back together. I can understand, actually. Wasn't a real big fan initially of stages when NASCAR came out with it because, if your guy is way out front, you hate stages. If your guy's all the way in the back, you love stages. So, but I understand what they're trying to do with that, get people within sight of each other rather than a long, drawn-out single file line. Let's see what they can do when they've got some traffic.
Right. But I would also kind of put in addition there that it's a love-hate relationship if they hadn't have changed the car. We made it into the next gen car, or the Gen 6, where it made it so much more boxy, and they're now pack racing cars, and they weren't able to make any sort of a breakaway. So what you see Brian Jones doing would have never happened. The guy in the lead can never get away by any more than half a second over the top of 8 guys. So right now, if they had stayed, maybe stages in these style cars, it may have changed, because right now you see a driver like Vincent Arthur, terrible turn off, loses a boatload of time here, but normally nothing would happen like that. All right, Mike Moultrie looks like a little disconnect there. So the Silver Bullet having some trouble out there. We'll see if we can keep an eye here on the number 40 Sterling Marlin car.
9 and 19 coming up right after. Back in this orange, proper orange color.
Oh yeah. Now we're taking a look, and it looked like Brady Moats was getting ready to start putting a couple moves here on Jacob Gladwell, who's currently sitting in 11th, but Brady Moats with a slight little internet connection issue. He continues to charge on. Stella, one driver here tonight, I would say probably 3, have taken it back to the garage tonight. Nick Geilis in 97. He is down and out right now. Bush having a heck of a time here tonight. In the 97 Sharpie car, it seems to be just struggling all season here so far. Hopefully Nick Geilis is able to figure this car out, or he may be in some sponsor trouble here at the end of the season. The number 17 car out there of Matt Kansas, Christopher Heights, he got obliterated out there back on lap number 50 and has yet to return either. And Cody Smith made it to lap 67 and was our first caution here of the night. So Barney only having to wave the flag a couple of times out here, but a lot of, I would say we may have some more trouble out there. Where's Cody Reeder? I'm looking for Cody Reeder. There he is. Cody Reeder, I think, is Tay trying to take a look around Tay McDonald here. But Tay still fighting some internet connection issues as we chase behind that Echo Electric machine.
Yikes. Yeah, I was watching Sam Taylor hit an off-track back there and is now down in pits. So he may be working on, again, some repair.
Keep an eye on that. Right now, you are correct there about Sam Taylor having to jump to the pits. I don't know whatever became of Sam Taylor. Let's see if we can find out what happened to him here. So it looks like there's some ample amount of damage there to the right rear of that car.
And the right front.
Yep.
Should not be able to see
No, not normally. All right, let's go ahead and check back in on our top 3 guys. Brian Jones, Dalton Tucker, Vincent Arthur. Sitting 1, 2, and 3 here at the RadioShack 300. I would say that's probably a good situation to be in up front. Dalton Tucker now starting to pick up the pace here and close the gap in on Brian Jones. Jones been leading here just like he did the beginning of the race. Remember, Brian Jones, with the pit strategy differences, was unable to get back to that position. So is that going to be something that we see kind of continue on for Brian Jones? Or is he finally going to start figuring out how to conserve these tires and push farther out front? Stella, we are almost reaching the halfway point here in this race. This is going to be excellent here so far. One caution has only happened. Dustin Kleba is starting to look at Mike Moultrie. Take a look at that different angle here. Moultrie starting to slide. So drivers came down on lap number 69 out there, got back under green, and they are starting to feel the wear here of the tires fall off.
Already.
Yeah, 29.13 from Dalton Tucker's his best time, 30.9 is what he's running currently. So tires and fuel imminent.
Yeah, take a look at Nick Pressey. Looks like he's, or was, pressing in on Brady Motes.
Motes is able to escape, though. Lap car Cody Height tumbling around in there. Number 15 should be driven by Michael Waltrip.
Somebody we haven't mentioned tonight, Kyle Rochelle. He's just made his trip down pit road and is on his way back out.
Yep. So 39 target machine. He throws in the towel, says 4 tires and fuel for me. Let's get back out there. Not bad. They should have plenty of tires here for this race. Ouch. Moultrie into the wall.
Do not partake there of your sponsors' beverage before you finish the race.
Banquet Beers is having a little bit of trouble out there as he's currently sitting down in 5th. Still a good run, though, as they hang in there. Let's check back in on Blake Hoppy. Oh, man. Move back to him just as he takes a look around Kevin Balmer. Balmer high side, 31 going to follow, and he's going to switch him up. Triangulate this turn. High side, see if he gets any turn speed. Whoa, and the tire's starting to fail him.
And he loses traction, you bet.
Well, that traction loss is now going to give Matthew George the upper hand as he takes it low. Oh,
Quick and clean pass.
Yep. Couple of Monte Carlos here going for it. They are starting to scurry away. Blake Hoppy drops down to the 11th position. And I've always wondered how a driver, you know, I've even been in the situation. You make one little mistake, lose a couple of positions. Now what? I mean, how does he go, well, I'll try again in the next couple of turns? When you know those tires are starting to really give out on you here, you can't push much harder than you already are.
So you just, try to stay in your position and not lose any and wait for everybody to go wee into pit road.
Gladelick almost nails him there.
No bumping.
Attaboy.
Nick Pressey.
Brady Motes and Pressey going at it. Well, I would say what's happening is as Brady Motes is trying to get to the top line. There you go. You see him move to the top line, and that's what it was. He wasn't sure if he had beat him and was moving to the top and kind of knocked into him.
All right, so that puts several people, and here come our leaders: Brian Jones, Tucker, Arthur, Kleba, Moultrie, Reeder. That's it. Everyone is coming down.
Yep. Well, they definitely wanted to pit the exact same time our top 3 guys are, and I don't blame them at all. That is definitely what you want to do, and stop waiting these guys out. Jay out there saying Gladelick, yeah, he almost got smoked. That could have been bad. That could have been real bad. All right, let's see how they do down pit road here as they get ready to emerge.
Someone who will not be coming out of pit road is Sam Taylor, who's taking it back to the garage.
All right, Sam Taylor, that is it for him. Brian Jones barely getting out of pit road just before Dalton Tucker, and really hats off to Dalton Tucker's team and his launch capability. Dalton Tucker sidestepping it immediately as soon as they finish it there. Out he goes, and boy, he reeled him in. But Jones already starting to panic, though, as you see him start to really lean in and get away from this. Whoop, little slip up there before the tires can warm up. But hopefully Brian Jones doesn't get nervous here. I would say he almost wants to sandbag it right now. He's got the lead and just stay out front. I don't know if he really wants to increase his lead, as he is right now up to half a second.
Yeah, he may not want to increase it too much, because we have a bad habit of coming out on cold tires and having somebody, not necessarily up in the front here, but a little further back doing some loop-de-loops that end up causing a caution. No sense in frying your tires off trying to get away if you're just going to be packed up again.
Yep. All right, we just saw Mike Moultrie going ahead and getting around Tay McDonald out there. Both these guys are having connection issues, unfortunately. So Moultrie and Tay McDonald now getting in their respective positions are 5th and 6th. Both of them with combined positions of, I believe, 32 gained on the night. We reach the halfway point here of this race. They continue on. Let's take a look here more toward the back of the field. They want to keep an eye on Hoppy as he's starting to apply pressure here to Nick Pressey. Pressey does get away, though. Takes a more aggressive line down to the bottom and is able to scramble away. That was a 2/10 turn as he went around there all the way on the bottom, grinding down on that white line. So it's going to pay off early in this run, but longevity-wise, that won't hold. Track continues to rubber up here. Drivers starting to feel pretty confident as that the rubber tends to stick more and more to the track. The nice warm weather that they've got out here at Texas. A lot of things are being taken into account, though. Pit strategy still in effect as they continue to move on. Right now, the RadioShack 300 has only brought us one caution here of the night. Going down on lap number 67, James Hudson and Cody Smith got smashed to pieces out there, and unfortunately it does ruin both of their nights. Hudson was able to return back to the track under his own power and is still actually racing out there. I believe there he is.
But 11 laps down.
Yep.
Yeah, here's another item. Our track temperature has gone up to 93 degrees at this point, which is a tad bit different than what it was when they started.
Yep. As that rising sun tends to set over top of the track. Starting to feel nice and warm out there, and I guarantee even the fans out there are starting to feel it. Look how bright it is out here at the track. So hopefully glare does not come into any sort of an issue out there. Right now it doesn't seem to be affecting our top three here at Texas. Stands are full of over 100,000 people watching here tonight. As we appreciate all you guys joining us here at SimTraX Broadcasting. This is the National Oval Racing Association Gen 4 Cup Series. We aren't even a quarter of a way into the season, and guys are already getting antsy whether or not they're going to make it into the playoffs. I would recommend that you just get out there and be consistent, and you've got a chance of making it all the way to the end. I believe if you're within 400 points of the guy in the lead, you are in the chase for the cup at the end. We'll see how all that plays out. Some could have better nights, some could have worse nights. Taking a look back here at Kevin Palmer, this is him starting to apply some pressure here to Al Likens. Likens trying to hold him off, though. He holds top line, 30 machine. Nope, just too strong. Just too strong. Here he goes, Kevin Palmer. Good pass, though. Give it to Al Likens for going ahead and just hanging in there. Didn't push the subject or stress him out. Let him go in and get around you and fight and work with him now.
So what you're saying is that it won't necessarily be the top 10 guys that are in the chase or 12 guys, however many they choose. Currently, all the way down to the 19th place person in the standings, Kristen Berry, he's 396 points behind. He would still be in the chase.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. A lot different, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Now, this is why they said this was the beginning and the death of NASCAR. Was this series in this year? Everybody, this was high time. Everybody enjoyed this racing. A lot of big names out there. Unfortunately, this is about 3 years after we lost Dale Earnhardt. And even more years when we lost Kowicki and Davey Allison. I know one that most people do forget is Neil Bonnet. Him getting his light extinguished as well. All right, Dalton Tucker currently sitting in that number 2 spot. Fast all night, fast during practice. Right now, I think he's going to be looking to try to capitalize here at this track. At number 96, everybody came down for fuel and tires. So these things are going pretty well. Right now, they are just now tipping about the third of the way in. A third of the way into the 30-second marks now.
I have to ask, I've noticed something on on the fence, and I know it's kind of odd, but why are there cones smashed into the fence? Or, like, there's 3 of them, orange traffic cones pointing through the fence.
Do you see where they are?
I want to say they're over by the start-finish. It was kind of odd. There! Toop. They just, yeah, we just passed them. So, if maybe from some of the racers out here, anybody in the chat have any clue? I mean, there's a single and there's, the only thing I've ever seen like that is when the high school kids take all the little solo cups and stick them in the fence. I'm sure that's not what this is, but my curiosity is piqued.
If I'm mistaken, I thought that's when Barney is supposed to throw out the green flag. I know Jay says braking points out there, but I'm a little confused. Braking point on the exit of the tunnel turn, heading through the front stretch.
Yeah, they only seem to be right there.
Yep. Well, they definitely used to be like 1 cone, 2 cone, 3 cones heading into the turn. But from your location, it almost seems like a when it's time to get back under green flag or to start the race.
So it's like an old-fashioned Geico restart zone?
I'll buy that.
Okay. Yes, Jay. Squirrel. I know he's going to say it.
Stella, drivers starting to separate again. Really starting to spread about the track.
And Kyle Rochelle just came down again. I swear he came down on 90. And here he is already on 115.
Kyle Rochelle is almost about 10 laps off. He normally seems to kind of keep coming down.
Yeah, but that's pit road wise. He's only 1 lap down, so he needs to kind of watch those pieces so he can stay on the lead. Speaking of just barely on the lead lap, Josh Conover right now is running in 15. He is 23 seconds off the leader. These guys are running 29s. That's scary.
Yep. Al Likens just got in the wall not too long ago. Now the 77 machine not having a good time. There's the dent over top of the right front fender.
Oh, yeah.
Quiet on the western front here. No issues out there. Nobody actually racing around each other too close.
No. Matthew George is about the only person, and he's right there, coming up on Al Likens.
Yep. As you see, we moved past the 97 machine out there. Of Nick Geilis returning back to the track here.
Nope. Hidden.
Yep. was able to get all those repairs done, 44 minutes worth. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all our viewers out there who I know have been there for the entire time, whether it be his repair or this broadcast. Blake Hoppy.
Coming down.
Yep, electing for a pit road visit. Yeah, looking to see any more of our lap 95 guys come down, that being Tay McDonald, Nick Pressey, Al Likens, Brady Moats, and Josh Conover. I'll just name a few of them here who came down on lap 95. We'll see if they decide to come down and visit.
Most of the other ones, there's your Josh Conover. Came down on 96, so I would not expect them to wait too long after the first bunch.
Huh.
Cody Height, 91. And there he goes. Let's see if Mr. Likens gets some of his repair done. Get him to pull that fender off. There we go. Off the tire. Buffed it out at least.
Yep, left side's up, left side's down. And out he goes. So Al Likens cannot lose valuable positions out here. Seeing how far somebody can get out in front of you and stay getting away or trying to pass them through a lot of this dirty air.
Now here's a switch up. Vincent Arthur has come in, and he's been riding right up there with Brian Jones and Dalton Tucker. And here comes the rest. Guess who is going to be our holdout?
Jacob Flatwood?
Yep. Currently running in first. He is going to try to do it again, get another lead lap.
I'd say that's possible if he can stay out front. Right now he holds a 24.5-second lead over top of Vincent Arthur. That's not going to be fast enough to get back out there in contention as he is currently in the median range out there for 38-second pit stop.
Who is in the DeWalt machine?
Is it number 17?
That is. My goodness. He is still annihilated. He had no front end.
Yep. Yet he continues.
All right.
I might be wrong.
Looks like Tay's going to make a move on Kyle Rochelle. 59.
Yep. Lap number 126 is underway. We are taking a look at Nick Pressey here, being overtaken out there by Jacob Flatwood, who came in 3 laps later.
Look at these 4.
Came down in a 123. James Hudson able to return back to the track.
yeah. He's been going. I would say slowly but surely. He's actually probably on lap 114. He's a few laps back. No, 3 laps. And Nick Giles is going to pass Christopher Hayes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
we watch this race, and it is starting to spread out a good bit now. Now, I would say any of these drivers that are considering trying to make it later on here in this race, do you think they have enough time?
I think a lot of them are too far spread out unless they want to start joining up. But you said that play and follow the leader out here doesn't work so well with taking away their downforce. But being this spread out, unless there's another caution, I don't think we're going to see a lot of change of place.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Vince Arthur currently sitting in the lead. 1 second behind is Dalton Tucker. Kaliba 3.5 seconds off Vincent Arthur. And we look for our leader, Brian Jones, who had an extended pit stop time, 17:72.
Ow!
Yep. So that cost him about 3 seconds, which would have put him up into the 4th place in front of Cody Reeder. That is not going to be the case now.
Huh. Can you tell if that was, did something happen on pit road? Because I never really saw him run into trouble as far as hitting the wall, hitting people. What would cause a 17.72 pit stall time?
Could have slipped the clutch. Wasn't able to get out of there. Spun the tires a little too much getting out of pit.
Okay. Che thinks they're making Christopher Heights a new front end. But Christopher Heights is rolling. After 41 minutes. Can you find me a 17?
Yep, I should be able to find the for Heights. There he is.
Outstanding. Still a little rough for the wear, but he is moving. Good deal.
I'll make sure he gets his sponsor out there. Extra laps completed. Rice does have the opportunity to get a minimum of a 21st position. I think Nick Giles is thinking the exact same thing.
Yes. Yeah, they'll need another 20 laps or so. We have that to do tonight.
I would also note out there as well of a couple of drivers that would like to come up with some sort of an answer of their downfall here tonight. I would say Dylan Picklesheimer, one of the drivers out there, has kind of come with a meeting out there with a wall a couple of times here, especially being a fast driver that I was not expecting to be all the way down here. I believe he had a top 10 start. Starting somewhere in the 6th position. Dylan Picklesheimer has just been unable to recover. The woes continue out there for the number 2. And we move up to Blake Hoppy, who's currently sitting in 10th. Both him and Al Likens have gained the identical amount of positions, which is 10. It looks like Alan Likens is going to have to make up about a 1.5 seconds here. He is able to shave off 2/10 last turn. And we're going to keep an eye and see how he is doing it. As you see, there he is in the background there. Moving on to Kyle Rochelle out there in the target machine.
while Dalton Tucker is still just hanging back there behind Vincent Arthur, biding his time. You think as long as he stays within that third of a second, he's going to stay in the aerodynamic bubble. And kind of just sit and wait.
Yes, that's what I would assume. Dalton Tucker's been pretty fast here all night. I think he's just got to get out, kind of outsmart them here in pit road. If Dalton Tucker can get out in front of Vincent Arthur, I think he might be able to run away with it, but nor here nor there. We don't know 100% if that is going to be the case. Jake Christenberry working his way on down into pit road.
Okay.
Number 48.
As well as Kyle Rochelle.
Yep. Rochelle was there a lot earlier. Tires and back out on the track.
And it looks like same for Jake Christenberry. Wow. Looks like a pearl necklace.
Yep. We're going to stick with our leaders here as they are starting to slice through the field. Trying to put a few more guys some laps down here. Right now, Dalton Tucker's wondering if this is a good time to pounce. So he's going to keep real close as he snugs behind him here. And Tucker to the inside.
Real close is an understatement.
Yeah, no can do. Dalton Tucker's going to see if he can jam him behind Conover. But can Vincent Arthur stay out in front of Tucker? Whoop! Tucker's great turn exit. He's going to have an opportunity here. This is currently the battle for the lead. Conover gets to see it in the rearview mirror. 17 off the wall, heights up top.
Hopefully, though, Tucker realizes that Conover and Vincent Arthur are on the same team. So there may be
3 wide.
there we go. Nice.
Tucker still hasn't made the clear, but goes up
Into
toward
the
the top, and Vincent Arthur starting to snap that wheel around a little bit. You can tell he's mad.
Well, no, he just came off that wall. He was holding it. That was an impressive recovery. Holy mackerel. If he's mad at anybody, he's mad at himself for making that tag.
All right, I have been kind of teetering on the edge here, wondering when pit road will start heating up. Mike Moultrie working his way on down now. That should be the number 2, Dylan Picklesheimer. Picklesheimer, wow, over 20 seconds in the box.
I was going to say a tad extended on that pit box time.
Yikes.
Look at Dustin Kleva, just kind of waiting in the wings right there.
We'll see if Dustin Kleva decides to pit first. Seems to be the winning strategy. Pit first, then you can get back out there. Nope, not yet.
Jake Christenberry. Yeah, Jake Christenberry's right in here in the thick of it. He's 7 laps down, but it looks like he's going to try his best to get one of them back the good old-fashioned.
All Likens down pit road.
Moultrie is still there. Minute and a half.
Dalton Tucker getting a decent breakaway here. Arthur trying to take a break here of Dustin Kaliba. Trying to get right on. Little couple tough to tire smoke out there. Vincent Arthur, aggressive turn down into pit road.
He'll be watching Tay McDonald and Josh Conover pulling back out.
Leaving it all to himself. As we see Vincent Arthur starting to work down into his pit box all the way here, close to the end. As he enters pit stall number 2.
Opting for some right tires. Opting for some left tires. And like Jay says out there in the chat, I can't wait to be able to see the gasoline guy come jumping out.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty handy, being able to see that sort of stuff. All right. Jacob Gladelick currently holding the lead now. The last time we saw him visiting pit road was lap 123. Oh yeah, there you go. Wind that car up about 185 miles an hour. We're going to see, I'm sure, the number 20 come in this time around. But he decides to stay out.
He always likes to test himself a little bit. Nick Pressey decided, however, he was going to come in. He was currently sitting in second. So that puts Vincent Arthur back in his beginning position of second place, at least until Jacob Gladelick decides to come down pit road.
And there you have it.
But correct me if I'm wrong, Vincent Arthur managed to get a 1.5 seconds, almost 2 second interval lead on Dalton Tucker.
Definitely so.
Oh, wow.
Out front they go. Brian Jones. Work here. Past the number 31 out there.
So that's what you were saying about coming in first. Because Vincent Arthur came in on 147 and Tucker and Kaliba on 148. So it worked out well for him on this round.
Yeah, that it did. I would probably say we got 148. Boy, yeah, maybe 2 more pit stops here. I don't think anybody's going to be able to stretch it out to a one-stop go. I think Brian
they've
Jones
been running
would
like you
appreciate
say.
that.
Yeah, I think maybe Cody Height might even appreciate that. If looking at who's got a lap down, maybe they can swoop and grab another one, get it back. Jay, I hope so far they are not losing tires down pit road. That's only the real guys.
Yeah, and actually the whole team is penalized nowadays for that. If they lose control of a tire.
Yikes.
Yep. Let's check in on Al Likens. There he is. Looking as Ray around the outside there. Matthew George now drops down to 12th. 155 is underway out of a 200 lap race here at the RadioShack 300 here at Texas. Track has been pretty much maintained the exact same way by the weather. And weather now finally putting down a little more heat out there on the track.
98.6.
Yep.
My
Right.
goodness.
Yeah, oddly enough, normally we see tracks end up cooling down, but not this one. This one is heating up. Right now, I think some of these guys are enjoying it, but it does make it a little more dynamic. From a driver's standpoint, it just seems to get either worse and worse, or it gets better. And this is some people are enjoying it. I would say that long lead out there for Vincent Arthur, he's enjoying it. Those tires are working out very, very well here, and I think everybody else is getting ready to start playing chase out there with the DuPont Chevrolet.
As normal. Meaning the Jeff Gordon, the DuPont Chevrolet part.
Checking to see if any of our times out here are changing. Kleba is starting to reel in Dalton Tucker, though. And I believe Cody Reeder. I think Cody Reeder and Brian Jones are getting ready to do a little something. These are all our drivers here in the top 5. If I look back, between each driver, there's a minimum of a second and a half between anybody out there.
Oh, man.
Yep.
So, no real advantages gained. Several lost as far as coming down on that pit stop.
Right now, I'm wondering if anybody has anything for these leaders. Currently, Brian Jones is trying to make up more distance there. As you see him working around Josh Conover, goes a lap down. And Dalton Tucker starting to get going here. 0.6 of a second behind Vincent Arthur. Kleba now pulling into the screen. These two are getting ready to go for it.
Yeah, both the fellas, Dalton Tucker and Dustin Kleba, have made good inroads on Vincent Arthur. But Brian Jones, before the pit stops, we were looking at him in 6th. So he is slowly but surely making his way up. But looking at the fact that he's still almost 8 seconds behind, that's going to be a pretty big hill to climb unless we have a caution.
Hell, I think pit road's starting to heat up a little bit. Blake Hoppy, our usual one of our first takers, he's working his way on down now.
Yeah, something happened to Matthew George because he is, heavens to Betsy, 3 minutes down there now? He should know better than to have that gas station sushi.
You would think.
Sorry.
All right, Stella, so let's say you're Vincent Arthur and you look back and the guys you've been out running, they're starting to catch you at the end of the tire stint.
I should try a different strategy. If I should, I sure don't know what it is.
Right now, Vincent Arthur is starting to block out Dalton Tucker as he plays peekaboo behind him. Here comes the Haviland machine again, front stretch. Decides not to do anything with it. All right, Dustin Kleba now going to use that to his advantage. Drops down to the bottom, backs it up. Stella, they are out in front by 7.5 seconds over anybody else in the field here.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Do they have their own mini race here and kind of do it amongst themselves, or something?
Until they hit the lap track. Well, the key is just don't mess up. You know, yes, they can have their own little mini race, but all it takes is one person coming down too quick, one person hitting the wall, losing speed. Could be anything. So it ain't over until it's over.
Yep. We're talking about this pass for the lead. Dalton Tucker does overtake. Tucker gets around the 24. And I think Dalton Tucker is going to try to help Dustin Kleba here and help him on the way through.
He may help him get past Vincent Arthur, but he's not going to give him the lead.
If this plays out the way they had hoped, might have enough to get to the end. That's one stop.
Really?
148. 178 is going to put us at 30 laps, and we're under that.
Yeah, they haven't been able to make it 30 laps so far. At 20, 25. Occasionally at 26. I think Gladolick made it 27 before he ran out of gas.
Stella, they are still yet to come down into pit road here. As we break past the 20 lap mark since the last time they came in.
Okay. Figure they're at 21 now. I think I'd say they could still do a few more. Matthew George, 7 minutes. Down in pit.
Might be a down and out situation.
I do believe Mike Moultrie is also taking the hard left into the garage.
Question, Dustin. Kleba's got something up his sleeve here. Our viewers out there, do appreciate you joining us here tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. RadioShack 300. Most of this race has been led by Brian Jones and Vincent Arthur. Right now, Dalton Tucker feeling it's his turn to play.
Okay, a hard charger tonight, up 17 places. 06 from Tate McDonald, currently in 7th position.
Yep.
Well
Mistake
done.
to the edge. All right, Al Likens taking the pit along with Cody Height. Both of them weaseling out. Try to run each other down out here on the track. Vincent Arthur continuing to go around. Last time he pit was lap 147. And Picklesheimer into the wall.
He sure is.
The woes continue for this gentleman.
Man, I saw the sparks flying. And not in a good way, like when you see somebody cute.
What?
Just checking to see if you're listening. Hey, McDonald, down pit road, sitting in this box. On with Christopher Heights. Nick Guileless is creeping up on the 17 of Christopher Heights. They may have one of their own little mini races. Josh Conover coming in, as well as Brady Moats. Those front guys are holding out.
Yep.
It's almost like they're playing chicken. Here they come. 1, 2, 3. Tucker, Kleba, Arthur. 4, 5. And no, 6. There we go, of Jones, Reeder, and Baumler.
I know, I'm actually surprised to see Baumler coming on down. He pit actually one lap later than the rest of these guys. I thought he was going to be able to stretch it out just one more lap.
Yeah, but then he would be in there with Gladelick and Pressey. They have not been able to capitalize much on their lap later pit stops.
Yep, so Gladelick holds on to the lead. Still waiting to pit is going to be Nick Pressey. Resuming back into the lead will be Dalton Tucker after they pit. Dustin Kleba, Vincent Arthur. As these two are pretty close out there on the track. Blake Hoppy sets 6th. And Brian Jones still having trouble with his pit crew out there as he hangs out in 8th.
All right, Nick Pressey is down. That just leaves us Jacob Gladelick here. For a bit, anyway. Kyle Rochelle is the real one that is off cycle. He came in at 161. The others had come in no later than 150. So when he comes in, he surely can make it to the end.
Yeah, he can, but can Dalton Tucker stretch out that lead enough not to get caught?
I don't know. Here comes Jacob Gladelick.
Yep.
Brian Jones making some advancements just past Blake Hoppy.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. 23 laps left to go. Only one caution here on the race. Lap number 67 out there with James Hudson and Cody Smith. Got those two gentlemen involved out there. Right now we are taking a look at Vincent Arthur trying to run down two drivers in front of him. 0.3 of a second to Dustin Kleba and Dalton Tucker farther than that. Right now currently showing, I believe here, Stella, that 11 drivers are on the lead lap. Nick Pressey might be the next one to go down, though. This is taking a look back off Nick Pressey, currently sitting in the 11th. Right now, that is Dalton Tucker breathing down the backside of him here.
Uh-oh. Yeah, he's coming up pretty quick. I don't think it's going to take much more than another lap before they're bumping bumpers.
Yep. Well, Nick Pressey, as we ride along, is already clutching it here, trying to make sure he can save fuel as he came in on lap number 170. We sit here with Dalton Tucker. All right, Dalton Tucker difference. He is not pressing the clutch in to make it. Dalton Tucker looking to come away with a win here.
Trying to figure out why Nick Pressey, I mean, he actually came in at 175, why he would be running out of fuel already.
Now Blake Hoppy is a bit off stint there, between 5 to 6 laps running out of fuel for everybody else. So.
All right, 19 laps to go. Kyle Rochelle comes in. He was really counting on having a caution.
Nick Pressey still scrambling to stay out in front of Dalton Tucker here. This is our last driver here on the lead lap. Tucker is outrunning Kleba currently. There's Dustin Kleba, Vincent Arthur sitting right behind him. Brian Jones, you see at the bottom of your screen, there he is, 45.
Back up to fourth.
Yep, he's sitting 4th. Cody Reeder sits behind him. Kevin Ballmer is 6th. Tay McDonald 7th. Brady Motes all the way back here in 8th. had a much better qualifying time, but he's looking to battle his way back if he can. And Nick Cressy currently sitting in the 9th position. Now the number 20 is Jacob Gladelick, who's been off pit cycle all night. Continues to keep doing his way. Looking for a fruitful finish if he can come up with it. 16 to go. Tell this one is starting to wind down. Everybody getting pretty excited out there. I think even our fans are ready for this one to kind of close up here. Already pit boxes are starting to get wrapped up. The late race caution comes out. Expect everybody to be getting just enough fuel and tires for one last run.
Oh yeah, that would be a crazy race to the finish line if that happened after all this time. I mean, there has to be some level of fatigue that happens here, you know, whether it's real life or whether it's sim. The concentration alone to maintain, to hit your marks, to not miss a shift, all those things take their toll. And here we are coming up on 200 laps. To have to start, you know, like the beginning of the race again, that would be just crazy.
And also consider the practice. And the practice and the practice and the practice, and then switching servers and then practicing some more.
Oh dear.
You know, you'd almost think like what they're doing is second nature, but a lot of practice has to be done, and it's very, very time consuming out there. So it definitely wears down on these drivers. Roll on through. Who has anything happening out here? Let's see about Jack here with Josh Conover. Currently sitting right behind him. 48 machine is Jake Christenberry. Here we are. Josh Conover. Oh, man. 48's all over him. Jake Christenberry. Christenberry is going to go on around. Lapped car, enjoying a couple of his laps to himself now. Currently ahead of
Hey there, Bill Harkins. Out in the chat. Good evening. Welcome, Bandit Racing League.
Yep. Appreciate you joining us here for RadioShack 300 here with the National Racing Association. Martin's out there, owner of the Bandit Racing League. Definitely tune in Wednesday night for the season finale at Phoenix.
Oh. Sorry. Josh Conover took a little nick out of the wall there.
Yeah.
Thought he was headed into the infield, but he managed to hold on to it. Staying on the track and continues to roll.
Stella, a lot of things have happened here. Guys slinging through the infield, smacking off the wall. Earlier, there was a huge jam up at the beginning. I think back on lap 1, and only one caution here. And this is fantastic. This is fantastic. 9 to go.
All right, so where is... Here, okay, here, that's how close he is. And Jacob Gladelick is in between second and third there, right? So Tucker, Kaliba, Arthur Jones, Reeder, Baumler, McDonald, Motes, Cressy, and Gladelick. Those are our top 10 with 8 laps to go.
Reeder making a nice Nice pass. All right, Jones going to be missing podium here. I don't think he's going to be able to make up 7.7 seconds.
Not in 7 laps.
A lot of things happening out here on the track. Guys moving all over, getting way loose. They're going to stretch this fuel as far as they can. Right now, Gladelick is starting to jam up Dustin Kleba here. Kleba plowing through the turn. Boy, definitely taking an odd turn. Most of our drivers very, very, very separated out here on the track.
Yes. And in what almost looks like random order. I mean, there are lapped cars and in between every group. Five laps to go.
Yep, stick here with Dustin Kleba. 1 second off Dalton Tucker's bumper. Tucker pulling away. Slap Tucker's out there. He's starting to spread that distance just a little bit now. Running up on Nick Press, who's currently sitting in 9th.
Yeah, but with Gladelick in between them, that 1 second is a whole different, to me anyway, a whole different 1 second. It'd be 1 second away if he didn't have a lapped car to try to get around. But that's got to be making some kind of a difference.
Here we go, coming down the backstretch. Dalton Tucker still has it. Breaking under 1 second is Dustin Kleba. Come on, Kleba. Does he have anything? Two to go.
Go one more, and it won't matter if we have a caution or not.
Yep. Kleba has run out of time now. Jacob Gladelick starting to reel him in, sitting right behind him. White flag is out. Dalton Tucker has been leading a good chunk of this race and finally outpits everybody. That 174 with a 1475 out there in the box. 10th faster than Kleba, but it pays off. And now you take a look at Gladelick. Oddly enough, trying to make a pass here on the white flag. I think you would be kind of yelling at him and pumping his fist at him. But that is not going to matter. Dalton Tucker across the line for the RadioShack 300. Dustin Kleba only missing by 0.8 of a second. And then Vincent Arthur, the almost identical amount of time, 0.8 of a second from Kleba. That is our 1, 2, and 3 here tonight.
I would almost say our 1 through 5 are our usual suspects.
Here's some of the last of the guys here getting on track. That way we can get our unofficial results up. Right now, everybody trying to make sure they knock down one extra lap here. Don't want to cut out early. End up missing positions for nothing.
When you have this many drivers still on the track being laps down, you do not want to start celebrating before they have made their crossed their finish line.
All right, here are all your drivers out here tonight. Definitely be grabbing as many of these guys as we can and see how they feel. See if they are ready. Dalton Tucker and Vincent Arthur. It's going to be good here. And we will see. Bill Harkins out there saying a great run here tonight. Yeah, no kidding. 200 laps, 1 caution. No, not bad. Not bad at all, guys. All right, holding in there. We're going to go talk to that guy here at the very last spot as Dalton Tucker is in the process of trying to find the winner's circle out there if he didn't run out of gas. And we are definitely going to have a conversation with these top 3 guys. Hold on. All righty, catching up with our third-place finisher here tonight, Vincent Arthur. All right, man, looks like the DuPont Chevrolet comes in third place here tonight. Tough and a long race. Work me through it.
Yeah, I didn't really come into this race with a lot of expectations. Just basing off of how qualifying felt, and I wasn't able to get any practice other than the 2-lap side in quali, so I didn't really expect to be too much of a player tonight. And then especially when we loaded in and there was a low track temp, that definitely didn't play into my favor there. But as the race went on, we got up there, we led some laps. I felt like we were on a pretty good strategy there at the end. Fuel tank was just a little too small to actually do anything with it. Kind of forced me back onto Dustin's and Dalton's strategies. So couldn't really do anything there. Felt like I had a decent car the second half of the run. After 5 laps to roughly 15 laps in the run, I really didn't know what they were doing to make the speed there. So it was fun racing them all night, but I think coming out of here with the podium, I think that's all we really could have hoped for. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with the result.
All right, well, go ahead and give me your shout-outs while you talk to me about the Virginia Paperclip next week.
Yeah, Martinsville is going to be a interesting track. I think it's the first time this season real life is lining up with what we're doing over here in the 2004 season. So that'll be pretty cool. Got to give a shout out to Wake Up Narcolepsy, Damn Good Sleep, sleephealth.org, you guys with the broadcast, people joining my stream on YouTube at Real Vincent Arthur, everybody who tunes in and helps support this to make this go around and supports me in the real world as well. So just thanks to everybody who makes this happen. Thanks Josh Conover for letting me do this week in and week out. And I think Martinsville should be a pretty interesting one. Hopefully it's a freer car than Bristol was.
Yeah, and hopefully not as messy. All right, Vincent Arthur, congratulations on your third place finish, and we'll see you in Virginia.
Thank you. See you next week.
Yep. All right, that does move us on to Dustin Kleba, who ends up becoming the runner-up here tonight in the number 9 Dodge Intrepid out there. Man, oh man, talk to me here, Dustin. What a run here. Long one, I would say. Some of these guys, it almost seemed like it was a big race against fatigue.
Yeah, I need a heating pad and probably got to call my chiropractor tomorrow. My back hurts, I'm sweaty, and I think I grew a beard through that race. So that was a tough one.
Yeah, well, we do definitely poke at that a little bit. Strategy out here was one big thing against tires and against fuel. Plenty of tires were left down in pit road. I see you guys, some guys actually We're left with 2, if not 3 sets of tires hanging out down there. But as your Dodge comes into second place, man, work me through, what this means moving into Martinsville.
Yeah, the race started off as kind of a strategy. Some guys were running strong. A fuel run was between 26, 27 laps, and if you could do 25, obviously you could make it the whole way. So some guys were pitting at 25, some guys were pitting at 24 because the speeds were so fast in the beginning. Some weren't even making it 25. So I was just trying to stay out long, hoping I'd catch a caution, and it seemed like the front top 5 were kind of splitting on when they were pitting, and when that last caution came out, it just timed out. So everybody was running 26 laps on a tank of fuel, and that's what you needed to run to make it to the end. So it kind of stunk because it really just eliminated all chances of strategy and just tire strategy when you can pit and everything. So it was really just mono, e-mono, e-mono, e-mono. Maybe one more e-mono in there. So it was a dogfight between the probably 3, 4, 5 of us, and great for the audience to watch the heavy hitters go after it. But when you're not the top of the heavy hitter, it's kind of a bummer. But no, it was a good run. Dalton, I think I've got his back end just about memorized. So I've followed it for far too long. But yeah,
for being fatigued, you are full of jokes tonight.
Yeah, I know. I took my Prevagen this morning, so mind is sharp and we're ready to go.
All right.
But no, it was good to have a good run there. He's so good, and I feel like he's better at taking advantage of the front end of the run than I am. I think if the runs get a little bit longer, I might have a slight advantage. But it just takes me the entire run to catch up to him. So, yeah, we'll see. Moving on to Martinsville, completely different track than what we've been doing. I mean, even Bristol, it's a short track, but it kind of races like a mile and a half. So, we'll have some heavy braking next week, and you could see some different guys up front. And hopefully, I'm not staring at the back end of the 42 the whole race.
All right. Well, Dustin Kleba, you did it all last race, so you did it this race. Maybe you can come out on top here pretty soon and end up in winner circle. Give me your shout outs for anybody out here watching you, buddy, and let's get you ready.
Yeah, for sure. As always, shout out to the family that watches every week, and shout out to the admins that deal with our business every week. We got a good league running here. It feels like throughout the entire field, you got someone to battle. I know Tuesday nights they got a good next gen league. So if anyone out there is looking for a next gen league, they need some car count. There's some good guys that race there. So need a next gen league. Go hit those guys up. Gosh, shout out to my teammates. Brian was freaking lights out tonight. He was so fast. One of these days he's gonna decide to stop making it interesting and stop making mistakes and actually put a race together, and it's just going to be lights out, and we're all going to be like, what the heck just happened? So it's coming around the corner. I can tell Cody's learning every single week. He's getting faster every single week. So I know the 3 of us are going to be up here fighting for top 5s here any day now. Gosh, I think that's everybody. I got to take advantage of these now. I went over a year without winning, so anytime I'm up here, I just got to take advantage of it and make sure I get all my TV time in. So I think I'm good. I need a drink of water. My mouth is getting dry. That's usually a cue for me to shut up. So I'm good.
All right, Dustin Cleve, appreciate you joining us. And, guys, don't forget to tune in to In the Fence over there at Spotify. Him and Cody Reeder are going to go ahead and give you a recap here of the race and their take on it. Don't forget to check them out. In the Fence over there at Spotify. Dustin Cleve, congratulations on your second place finish, and we'll see what you can do next week.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
You too. All right, that moves us on to none other than Dalton Tucker. Boy, this guy had this thing on a roll here tonight. Dalton Tucker, I have to admit, I was probably a little skeptical out there if you had this win in the bag earlier here in the run.
Shoot, I thought Bristol was exhausting. I think this one was even more just knowing that you got Dustin, Vincent, and even Brian around you, you're white knuckling the whole time, and I don't know, it was weird. Some parts of the run I felt like I had tons of speed, and then other parts I was just barely holding on, and once I got the lead, I could kind of just play the gap game and try to keep the gap, and Dustin cut it pretty close at one point, and I got a little nervous.
This track and the racers all out here got very, very, very spread out. Is that what you were kind of expecting to see? Maybe the 42 Haviland machine just being able to pull away, or just kind of watch everybody single file and not really have to fight lap traffic as bad?
Honestly, when qualifying was as close as it was, I mean, even in practice, times from the fastest guy to mid-pack was just a couple tenths, like maybe 2 tenths. So I thought everybody was going to stay really grouped up and it was going to seem like pack racing, but when it spaced out, I knew that it was just going to be between maybe 5 of us, and kind of, I don't know, Brian Jones to me had the fastest car, and I don't know if he would have won, but that run where I was behind him, it was all I could do to stay with him. So he was very quick, and when he had the pit road incident, it really opened the door. And yeah, I'm not gonna say it gave me the win, but it definitely helped out a lot not having to worry about him.
Yeah, and definitely being able to break away. He was actually the only driver to break into the 28s tonight on a lap time, so he was blazing speed. But I would say most of the time, lap time isn't really going to matter when you head to Martinsville. It's going to be the entry into the turn, your roll through the turn, and the exit, especially not stabbing the throttle out there. Go ahead and give me your shout-outs and talk to me about your strategy and your mindset heading into Martinsville.
Yeah, I haven't done any laps yet, but Martinsville is usually all about saving those rear tires, and this car's got a ton of power, so I think that's what it's going to come down to. Probably a lot of mirror driving, just making sure nobody gets into the back of you, because these are kind of like a wedge, so if someone gets into you, your tires are definitely coming off the ground. But it's going to be interesting next week. I thought we did a great job at Bristol as far as cautions went, and maybe we can do it at Martinsville, but fingers crossed at least. As always, shout out to my team at Ganassi, and Michael had a hell of a run. He had a little mishap with his VR and I think knocking the wall down, but great run by him. Just overall a great run by everybody. I love these long green flag runs. It might be somewhat boring on the broadcast for you guys, but in the car it is a handful, and it's sweat just dripping down my back at this point. But just appreciate all the guys there. It's a heck of a league, and as always, thanks for what y'all do with the broadcast. I actually went back and watched the whole Bristol thing, I don't know, 3, 4, or 5 times now, and y'all just do a great job.
Awesome, cool. Thanks, buddy. I was gonna say we definitely shine at some and a little dull at others. I hate to say it. This one, you guys being so spread apart, nothing was really happening. You guys just kind of following along, knocking down some laps, and a couple of guys passing, one guy smacking the wall, but no caution. So it was a pretty wild one here tonight, and I would say probably next week, if we don't have more than 10 cautions, I'll put it up there. If you guys can make less than 10 cautions, I'll eat the broadcast fee. How about that?
Shoot, I'm cool with that.
There you go. All right.
I don't know how many laps it is, but 10 cautions at Martinsville. Shoot,
I think it's 300 laps.
Oh boy.
Yep. So let's see how you guys can do it. I've seen 150 laps and it'd be 20 cautions. So let's hope not for that. But like I said, I'm feeling very confident on my bet. Dalton Tucker, congratulations. I believe this is back-to-back wins for you, buddy. And what an awesome job, man. So fantastic, and we'll see you at Martinsville.
All right, thank y'all.
All right, Stella. Dalton Tucker coming away with yet another win. This guy was on a roll here. Fantastic job by all of our drivers and even the fans out there who are still watching. Appreciate you guys hanging in there. As I said, it got pretty separated out there not a whole lot of fighting and duking it out there on the track, but I can assure you next week will be the exact opposite. We're going to see guys smashing each other's doors in, I assure you of that. A lot of guys are going to have to figure out how to work together out there instead of putting that shovel nose underneath somebody and getting somebody turned around. Stella, anything left to add here?
Well, like you say, Dalton Tucker winning now 2 weeks in a row ties him up with Vincent Arthur, who also has 2 wins under his belt. And Dustin Kleba came up 3 spaces last week to sit in 6th. I predict he's probably going to rise 3 more places in the standings. We shall see.
We got a lot to unfold here. And guys, don't forget to check In the Fence podcast here of the NORA Racing League out there with Dustin Kleba and Cody Reeder. I guarantee they're getting ready to crunch time, get it done, and then they will be producing and kind of spitting it out first thing Tuesday morning. But that's going to do it for us here at the National Oval Racing Association here at Texas Motor Speedway for the RadioShack 300. SimTrax Broadcasting signing off. Be well, be safe, be kind, and we'll see all you guys next time.